Hi everyone, I'm Any New Province, and I just finished up a league with Mono Blue Faerie Control. It was awesome to play a deck that I felt so familiar with, even though I'd never played it before. If you want to play the deck that rocked the 2014 metagame, you can do so in whatever match you like by clicking on the timestamp in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the league. All right, gang, with non-matching basics. Man, well, we've got 2 lands. We've got some bounce spells. Got some card advantage. Seems pretty good despite the non-matching lands. But if you can look past that, this hand's pretty good. So let's go for it. On the play, on the draw. Yeah, like it really. Oh yeah, Pestermites is pretty good. It's kind of like, it's a little slow unless you're mono black though, right? Oh, sweet. I drew an island that I like. Play that one. We're playing against Tron, gang. It's Tron time. Yeah, I love Pestermite. I think part of the reason I liked it is because it has so much kind of antagonism from back in the Splinter Twin days. All right, here we go with the mismatched lands. No reason to be casting anything. It's only non-land permanent, huh? Guys, how do we beat Tron? I guess we like counter... I'll try to counter... No, I can't counter anything with this. I'd try to counter Expedition Map, I guess. Be really nice if we could get their Prism, but that ain't gonna happen this minute. Opponent just gonna pass. Okay, so we will... I guess we might as well accumulated knowledge first, because when we draw into other ones, we'll want these in our bin. So let's get rid of the AKs. So it wasn't a good day, guys. Had to use my AK, unfortunately, but... Draw and Exclude. Okay, I feel like Exclude's pretty okay against Tron. Yeah, we'll just play a land and pass the turn. Not missing any land drops here today. Yeah, miss land drop against Tron is pretty swell. Ooh, yeah, no, that would have been sweet. I'm okay, like, excluding a Convoked Muldrifter here. Evoked Muldrifter. Yeah, I'm gonna Pestermite. I think we gotta start the clock. Maybe they got counter magic. It's true. And oh, there's their own exclude. Got excluded. Okay, so what do we want to do? I guess we can do most of the stuff at instant speed. So let's play Island and pass the turn. Yeah. I don't want to go digging with Think Twice here. That might have been the play right there, Proteus. That was definitely the psychic play. If I knew they were going to exclude me. But it would have played around counter magic a lot better too. Alright, what do you have? OPP. Nearly Tron. That's what they have. We don't have that many threats, which is like a little bit of a concern for me. So we'll Think Twice. We can just like Xerox for a few minutes. Found hard counter. Okay. I don't know if we want to run out Spellstutter Sprite and start attacking or not. Like it'll hit map here, and that could represent... They might just draw Tron though. Maybe now that I can definitely protect Spellstutter, I'll hold on to it. Opponent thinking about upkeeping me a little morsel here. Ooh. This card makes me giggle so good. Speaking of threats, let's play a land and pass the turn. I'm quite happy about this. I'll think about... I don't think I'll counter Teachings. I don't really know what they're going to go get with it, but we should be able to grind out like a Moment's Peace kind of thing. So I'll just pass here. I might have to be a little more frugal with my threats. Alchemy. They're a little choked on... I guess I can Condescend X2. Leave out Counterspell. I think I will actually do that. So I'm going to Condescend Forbidden Alchemy. It's just a lot of value and a lot of card selection. But they could hit a Drifter next turn. I guess I'll have to hard counter Muldrifter. Yeah, let's go like this. keeping them stumbling is a good way to eventually get there. Do we want a quicksand? No. I wouldn't mind having another counterspell for when the time comes. So I'll keep this on top. I think being able to counter all of Tron's stuff is pretty critical. And yeah, we definitely want to catch a Muldrifter with something here. And every Muldrifter for... friggin' Tron, man. Heck. This is the one that Kendra was talking about. So, mono blue Faerie control. Mono blue have to think a little bit less because their Tron opponent is playing a little slow. But I don't know if it's like unseasonably slow, considering. There's Seagate Oracle. Yep, that doesn't really matter. I think they're trying to sneak out Muldrifter. That felt like bait to me. And I can Into the Royal it for value. Counter it on the way back down. Maybe Counterspell wasn't the top there. I don't know. Tough to say. Hopefully this is one of those decks that got cocky and doesn't play Rolling Thunder. That'd be sweet. All right, opponent just going to pass. All right, so Expedition Map doesn't matter anymore, so I'm going to try to run out Spell Stutter Sprite here to get a clock started. See what our opponent thinks. I guess so. So, Deshaun McLean. McLean? Did I say that right? Deshaun McLean? I decided on this list because the Maverick Girl, Kendra, aka the Maverick Girl, referred me to it after playing against it in... Alright, they're going to prohibit my Spell Stutter. We don't have a ton of creatures. After playing against it in GP Richmond. I don't think I even want to go digging for a land drop here. I'd like to. But if my opponent gives me an opportunity, we could just get all of our creatures countered. Like, that's totally possible. And also not good. And I'm happy having second counterspell, especially against Tron nanigans that they can get up to. Because if you can, like, deal with their Dinrova horrors and all that nonsense, it should be okay. The big stuff, that's pretty much all you care about. And then they'll just, like, time or mill themselves out. So I gotta try to focus in on that. I only really care about the big stuff. I cared about that Forbidden Alchemy because it was gonna help them hit Tron, but let's see how they sequence all this stuff. Expedition Map. Well, I am feeling a little silly about having a Spell Stutter in the bin now. Gotta be a little bit more cautious about sequencing my plays now too. Get in with Seagate. Yep. I'm not going to Into the Royal it or anything because I have to try to protect this. I really don't want to get this countered. So I'm going to wait and see if I can draw another land. Maybe get it out next turn. There's Force Spike. That's nice. What do we draw? Island. Okay, sweet. So we have enough lands for me to confidently play a Sentinels of Glenelender now. Which is nice. They can attack for more than the Seagate Oracle can. They can also stonewall the Seagate Oracle. I feel a little choked here, though, like having to outdo whatever it is they're trying to do while protecting Sentinels, because they might have some number of like edicts and like a couple of Rolling Thunders and stuff that I have to worry about. Opponent's just going to pass. So let's see if they want to fight over this Sentinels. We do sort of have to force it through. Or at least we'll fight over it a little bit. Opponent lets it go. Okay. And their clock is currently faster than ours, but I think starting to attack for 2 wouldn't be that bad. Because we should be able to deal with their board once things kind of smooth out. I don't really know what they're waiting for. I don't know if maybe they're waiting for a Teachings or something, trying to resolve a Teachings. They can flashback this Forbidden Alchemy as well, and they haven't done so. What's up, Lynx? How you doing? Playing those mono blue fairies, man. Blue boys and girls. Boys. Haven't decided. So accumulated knowledge draws 2 here and puts us back up to a full hand. And we're not really risking a whole lot of like we're not tapping very low to do it. So I'm definitely into AK here. Hopefully drawing into more threats. Pester Mites would be sweet. Opponent 5 cards in hand. We'll see. Yeah, there's a Force Spike in my hand. See if they want to fight over this accumulated knowledge. I think I'm kind of okay. Like, I don't really... What are they doing? 6 mana. 6 mana remains untapped. Reasons I would want to fight over... Yeah, I guess that doesn't really matter. I don't know what they're digging for. Something to deal with this. Got a Pulse in the bin. Draw another accumulated knowledge. I think we'll just think twice here. Because if we don't find a land drop, then accumulated knowledge means we have to discard a hand size next turn. Opponent's going to Teachings. For what? Something I care about? Ghostly Flicker. Okay. No problem. Exclude. Accumulated knowledge draws 3 here. We have 6 cards in hand, puts us up to 9 cards. I don't really know why I would. I guess I might as well, right? Hey, what's up, PJMC Snooty? How you doing tonight? Come on in. You'd wait? Yeah, I think it's okay to wait as well. I think our hand is pretty stacked right now. So we'll attack with Sentinels. I might do it now to hit my land drop. Yeah. So we'll accumulated knowledge, draw some cards. And I'll probably... We'll play this Spire Golem, especially while our opponent's tapped out. And missed our land drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can discard this Force Spike to hand size. I guess we might as well bounce a Seagate Oracle with Repulse, but then we're down a lot. I guess we'll probably end up pitching the Repulse. So we'll pass. No, I know it's not. It sucks. We didn't find our land there, which is pretty problematic. Into the Royal is probably worse than Repulse here, really. We're not really mana screwing them, and it's more expensive. So I'm just going to pitch Into the Royal. All right, opponent, your turn. What have you got? Slightly less time than I do. Ooh, think twice in the bin for the Bazooka Bog. Who needs lands? So I'm not going to cast that in response. I've got counter spells and things like that I might find the need to cast. So see what this is. I don't really care about Mnemonic Wall. Like, what's Mnemonic Wall going to get, right? And they could just have Pulse. They have 2 colored mana left. Then look to start flickering as well. Maybe I do have to try to counter this. Yeah, because I can fight over counter magic, and I can also fight over their Pulse, and if they do eventually get it back, I can exclude it. Yeah. They have Flicker 4 Unknowns in hand. Hey, PJMC Snooty, thank you for the bits. Opponent going to Pulse. Okay. Let's try to take care of the Pulse. This will be the spell they fight over. Ooh, they don't have a way to fight over it. Is their hand just a bunch of Pulsamarasas? Or are they trying to get a Muldrifter down? Trying to get a Muldrifter down. By the look. 6 mana. Here comes... Ooh, just another wall. Okay. So wall for Pulse. Alright, we have to be cognizant of that. Which means I might have to get one of these Spell Stutters down to counter that Pulsamarasa. This isn't striking me as one of those Dinrova horror lists, but I imagine they've got at least one. Oh, there's another counterspell. Okay, well, life is good. Oh, yes. Hey, Lynx, thank you very much for the sub, man. I know, man. 9 months! Ah! We're coming up on 1 year, eh? October is 1 year, so I have to check my Twitter because all of this stuff went up at the same time. So October, I think, is our 1 year stream anniversary, which is pretty radical, I must say. All right, so we have hard counter. We've got some spell stutters to fight through their counter magic. We have exclude. Part of me kind of wants to let them get wall back so that we can exclude it, but letting your opponent get back mnemonic walls not exactly the best suggestion. I let this go here. They might have more, and also we might want to counter additional 3-drop spells with these spell stutters. All right, so here comes Pulse. They have Flicker in hand. Yeah, let's try to grab it. That means they'll need another one. And we might be able to stop their Prohibit with our Spell Stutters or something. Let's see what this is. More Mnemonic Walls? Ghostly Flicker. Okay. So let's try to Spell Stutter. They have 3 cards in hand. I don't think they have Counter Magic, or I think they would have forced through the Pulse. And Spell Stutter? The Spell Stutter better resolve. What do you think, opponent? Got a Jillian mana over there. But even if it doesn't, so long, I don't think they can Pulse and Wall. They can't. So I should be able to nab it with one of these excludes in the future. Opponent taking approximately 1,000,000 years to play this out. So we're going to go ahead and counter the Ghostly Flicker. 3 cards in my opponent's hand. And what's this? Dinrova Horror? Just Muldrifter? Dinrova Horror. Okay. What are we bouncing? The lands aren't great. Sentinels. Sure. I think I'm alright pitching Sentinels here. We're going to repulse the Dinrova Horror and then exclude it on the way back down. I know we're going pretty low on threats here, but our opponent only has 34 more cards in their library for us to fight through. And there's another counter spell to give us a little bit more backup. So we'll attack with everything, and we're going to repulse the Dinrova Horror now, just to maybe not. Maybe we'll want to. They might be able to fight it. And we could draw land. We haven't made our land drop. So we'll repulse Dinrova Horror, and we really got to hope that this exclude resolves, or we're in pretty big trouble. All right, we found our land drop. That's pretty sweet. So we will pass back to them. He wasted a bounce on Draft Chaff. All right, so we got to hope our opponent still doesn't have the counter magic. They're going to flashback Mystical Teachings. That's interesting. Is this to force through Dinrova Horror? Sure. What does Mystical Teachings get? They'll have to cost 1 colored mana to get Ghostly Flicker. Sure. So Ghostly Flicker, Dinrova Horror, 3 unknowns in our opponent's hand. I have reason to believe it isn't counter magic. Yeah, that doesn't really matter. Go for it. And what will Wall get back? Gonna have a peek at the top of their deck first. Oh yeah, that's fair. I guess 7 mana doesn't really represent anything here. Pestermite, sweet. Go to combat, swing. Does this tap any permanent? What's our opponent got? Pulse? Moment's Peace. Yep. Faerie Trickery. I'd like to do the Pauper challenge. I think that would be pretty sweet. I do like a thing on Sundays, which would generally prevent me from doing that. I don't know if we should tap one of these towers in their upkeep or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4 colored sources. So I could tap down like Shimmering Grotto. Something to think about, but yeah, maybe it's not worth it. I think attacking with it is just better, and we've got lots of counter magic here. So we'll see if they try to get another horror out. We're perfectly okay taking our time here. Is this Drifty Boy? We've got enough mana for 2 excludes. Oh, that would be greedy. That'd be really greedy, huh, guys? But I think it might buy our opponent's way out of the game. I don't think the next Dinrova horror is that big of an issue. I think our board's pretty good, and anything they bounce could be an issue. 4 spike, so good here. Opponent taps 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 6, 7. So they can pay for 4 spike and still get out Dinrova horror here. So we can't exclude plus 4 spike. I think we gotta let this resolve. Or we could tap down this tower. No, they're not evoking it. What do you guys think? Like, I almost think flashing in Pestermite and tapping this tower might be the play. But then they could just draw another Tron land. But I do think we have to let this resolve. Unfortunately. Gotcha. I guess not, right? Because none of the stuff that they can bounce is that big of an issue. Because, like, this is free, this counters a spell, this counters a spell. Yep. I can pitch this land. Yep. Or during their upkeep, yeah. Bounce a Spire Golem, okay. Getting the clock down a little bit. I guess we could have pitched this 4 spike. Maybe land was more important. But it is what it is. Just gotta play fast. But I think it would have been interesting there, because I think I kind of knew that horror was coming down. Opponent's gonna attack for 1, making a valiant effort. Back to us. We draw another Pestermite. So now we can fog their Dinrova horror with our Pestermites too if we want to. Which is pretty rad. They go to 8. They might overcommit this turn though, so I don't think I'm going to do that this turn. Because they might like tap a bunch of mana or something and then we can just kill them. Because 2 Pestermites represent lethal. And if we counter their Moment's Peace, we win. Seagate Oracle, sure. So I think we're actually probably going to take Dinrova horror damage this turn. And use this stuff to fight through whatever answers they might have to lethal. And I'll be Pestermiting their mana. For sure. Me too. All right, 1, 2, 3. Pestermite. I wonder if I should untap lands here. They have 1,000,000 mana. There's no reason to tap their mana, so I'm actually going to I'm going to untap lands with Pestermite. What's our opponent got? Ghostly Flicker. If we... So I'm going to Pestermite, untap this island, and then I'll counter the Ghostly Flicker. Really hoping I don't have counter magic for Pestermite. Untap this island. That means we won't be able to counter their Moment's Peace, I guess, but... But then they get, like, Horror Loop going, which is just, like, a nightmare. Alright, opponent. Do you have counter magic? They very well could. Oh, it looks like they do. They have a Dispel. Goodness, okay. So opponent's going to get to bounce one of our creatures. A couple of our creatures. Two of our creatures, at most. We can pitch this Force Spike. Yeah, Dispel was kind of a beating there. Yep. Pestermite will come back. We'll pitch Force Spike. That would be Tomorrow Night, Senrez. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They got us with the counter spells there. Pretty good. Opponent had the Dispel. They're going to flicker. Now, this is interesting. I wonder what they get here. And they're out of green mana, so they can't fog. Just kind of nice. We are notably at 12. Yep. Going to bounce Spire Golem. I think we'll just discard. It might be relevant to like Fogler Dinrova Horror, so I'm actually going to pitch Spire Golem here. I don't like it that much, but that is what I'm going to do. And we'll get back Ghostly Flicker, so that's a bummer. Opponent had the Dispel. Hopefully we can draw into some counter magic. I guess none of this matters, really. We'll tap Tower. Make sure they don't tap it in response. All right, our turn. We get to swing for 4. Draw an island. Go to combat, swing for 4. But they're going to get to Dinrova Horror loop pretty good here, which is pretty unfortunate. So we're going to try to hold on to this Pestermite until blocks, or until attacks. Possibly Pauper playable fairies indeed, Senrez. Opponent's going to Ghostly Flicker. Yep. I don't think there's any opportunity for us to get him here, but if there is, we could get Hellbent, actually. No, being Hellbent doesn't help. We'll pitch Island. This is kind of interesting. So our opponent's at 4 here. They're going to pulse back wall. Okay. All right, they're not at a very low life total anymore. They're at 10. No, this is net benefit. Oh, frig. Oh, it's supposed to be net benefits. Oof. I'll switch that over right now. Rip. Heck. All right, we got it. Opponent's going to get Ghostly Flicker back. Yep. And leaving up there Moment's Peace. There's no way we can win through it. We can deny them green mana next turn, or on our turn, I guess. So I guess we might as well do that. They can keep flickering our Pestermites back to our hand, though. So we will tap this. And now they can't cast anything. I don't think there's a way for us to sneak in lethal here, though. Why would I cast another Pestermite? Yeah, I guess. I might as well. We'll get in for 8. I think they've got double flickers, so they've got like the pulse loop going here, which is pretty unfortunate, but yeah. I'm alright with that. Alright, turn comes back to us. What do we draw? Island. Go to combat, swing with everything. And F6. Yeah, definitely have to be more aggressive with Pestermites. Absolutely. So is this the Boomerang matchup? Yeah, like don't worry about countering spells until pretty much the end of the game. I'm with you there. Opponent gonna start bouncing Pestermites. Spell Stutters, okay. That's Curious. So that comes back. We'll pitch an island. Ghostly Flicker in the bin. I don't even think you can you? Teachings. Okay. Sure. For exclude. Got it. They have 3 colored mana left. Ghostly Flicker. If they exclude here, I think they... I guess it does give them the choice as to what goes in the bin. So this one doesn't really matter, because all of our creatures have flash. So let's see what they're going to target. Sure. Yeah, I'll pitch Pestermite. I'm gonna at least make it they have to exclude. And then they'll take 3. They don't have another Moment's Peace, or they can't cast Moment's Peace like this. So if they exclude here, they're out of Moment's Peace mana. But we do lose another creature, I guess. Yep, can't flash it in. Gotta discard it. See if my opponent, who's got the rules engine of Moto on their behind them, doesn't understand it somehow. All right, our opponent's got us down to pretty much nothing. 2 Ghostly Flickers and a Mystical Teachings in the bin. We're gonna draw Repulse. That's kind of interesting. So let's attack with Spellstutter Sprite. And pass the turn. Yep, opponent's gonna go to combat. And I think this, well, we can take 8. It's no big deal. Yep. What's up, Joel? How you doing? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Let's try to repulse the Dinrova Horror. What's up, Arca Minor? Arca, I always do this when I see your name. Make the blowout hurt. All right, opponent's gonna get to scry. How's it going, Arkham Iron Arm? Got it. Nailed it. And there's another repulse. Okay. So our opponent can fizzle that. There's no point in casting it. We'll attack with Spellstutter, right? Opponent goes to 2. And they can just Ghostly Flicker on their end step to prevent anything bad from happening. I believe they win now. This is your deck list? Pretty much. Oh, that's your deck list. Yeah, hit me up. Opponent has two Ghostly Flickers in hand, so we're pretty boinked regardless. Opponent's gonna get back the Condescend, tap a bunch of mana for Condescend, and call it a game. Call it game 1. Yep. Condescend goes through, and that'll be it. Tron. All right, we're the aggro deck, guys. We are certainly the aggro deck. That was a slog of a game 1. I'm kind of glad though. It lets you really kind of feel out the deck a little bit. So Faerie Macabre definitely coming in. Boomerang? Hydroblast doesn't really do anything. I guess some dispels. Like dispels are probably better than Force Spikes. Like some number of Force Spikes. Force Spike doesn't really do anything. we want to cast creatures in the early game. And I think that's it. I think Dispels and Faerie Macabre are probably what we want. Dispels and Faerie Macabre deal with all the spells that we care about. Some of this bounce probably isn't super good, but I don't... What would I bring in instead? I guess we can put them off Tron with Boomerang. Is that relevant, do you guys think? Bring in Boomerang over something like Into the Royal? Because this can hit a land. Putting them back a land drop is actually pretty significant. Granted, there's only one Boomerang. What do you guys think? Should the Boomerang come in? Is it Boomerang time? Don't think it's good enough? I'm kind of with you there, Aris Chrono. It's a little tough. A little tough to gauge, but I think I agree that Boomerang shouldn't come in. So, cool. Cool. Let's submit like that. I don't see anything else. I guess like some more efficient stuff would be good, but just infinite counter magic should help us get there anyway. I would say like Into the Royal would be the cut if I was going to. What's a Faerie Trickery? I don't even know what Faerie Trickery is. They still haven't fixed this whole like flickering art thing, eh? Ooh. Yeah, no, that actually is kind of sweet in this deck, Terry. I kind of like that. That's true. That's true. It was funny. Like we didn't hit like 6th and 7th land drop until pretty late in that game, but we were drawing in all gas in the meantime, so it was okay. I don't think these repulses are great. I think I could bring in like I could bring something in over these repulses because they just all of their creatures enter the battlefield for value. So, but I guess it gets back our counterspell creatures, which is pretty sweet, and it fizzles Dinrova horror triggers. Well, we've got lots of counter magic. We've got a card to cycle. I think this is good enough. Let's do it. Play land, pass the turn. Yeah, it's for our own enter the battlefield shenanigans. I'm pretty with you on that one. Turn comes back. What do we draw? Opponent's going to be on the natural this game, team. Play land, pass the turn. It's the best thing about mono blue decks. You just always have 2 untapped blue mana. Opponent plays a land and Prophetic Prism. Well, no you won't. Gonna have to get your colored mana the old-fashioned way, opponent. And I actually think we're just gonna Spire Golem here. I don't really know what our opponent could... we actually kind of have to hit our land drop though. So actually, I am just gonna pass. Well, I don't know. This is tough. They don't have any colored mana. If they have like natural Tron, Golem time. All right, gotcha. Come on, no plays. Yeah, if they nut, so be it. And they did, but maybe they don't have any colored mana. So Expedition maps will continue to be countered. So we'll go to combat, attack with Spire Golem. We got Pester Mites to play, which is pretty good. Wouldn't mind playing them on their end step. Leaving up counter magic for... Oh, rip. All right, let's see what our opponent's got. Nothing. Oh, that definitely should be what it is. Okay, I'm going to put a stop on my opponent's upkeep so I stop missing that. But we're just going to run out Pestermite anyway, I think. So run out Pestermite. We'll untap Island just in case. I guess I can tap their colored source, so I'm not worried about it. Do they have Exclude? No. Oh, Teachings. Okay, sure. So might as well untap our Island. Although they can't cast any instants. It doesn't really matter. What is this, Pestermite? Heck yeah, it is. Heckin' Pester Daddy. Tap down the tower? You got it. They get a pulse, okay. So opponent kind of on the back foot. Tap in response. Take advantage of the trigger. Oh, I got bad with that one time. Couple of Dispels. I kind of want to accumulate a knowledge to try to hit a land here, but What would we tap, Grax? What's the best target there? I think I'm just gonna pass. I think like, yeah, I think choking them off colored mana here is probably my highest priority. So snapping off a Prophetic Prism or an Expedition map is pretty great. Never mind, they're good now. Might be able to get the Drifter or the Dinrova Horror though. Wouldn't mind that at all. And we can still accumulate a knowledge on our end step if they don't give us anything compelling enough to counter. Wall gets back teachings here. I think that's kind of an issue. So let's try to counter Wall. I guess I already have Pulse. You know, Pulse. Maybe they should have 100 more walls in hand. That would absolutely be a problem. Oh yeah, no, true. All right, what do we draw? Lonely Sandbar. I'm going to play that out because we have Sentinels here. But honestly, the only other spell we have is AK and Dispel, so we might as well actually accumulate a knowledge before we go doing something crazy like playing on a Lonely Sandbar. I really wish this was on the top of our library instead. We attack. Happy to have a Dispel here to hit a Pulse of Marasa if it comes down. We've had a little decent clock going here for sure. And only up to go for our clock. We can't counter a Dinrova Horror. That's a little unfortunate, but we can pitch this Dispel. 4 cards in our opponent's hand. We're only representing 1 mana. So it could be horror time. It's horror time. Yep. But we don't really have any way to punish them for this Dinrova Horror. I think I'm actually going to pitch Sentinel here. Because I think next turn it's going to be Pestermite Spire Golem. But I might want to leave up Counter Magic. I don't know, Squirrel Party. We might want to counter a Ghostly Flicker with... Yeah, I guess you're right. Thank you very much for the sub, Findelmeister. I appreciate that. I guess we don't have a ton of time to really think it over. We can play Spire Golem and something else next turn. Their time's at 437. We definitely want to keep this Dispel. I guess Sentinels kind of is the worst one here. We've got our third Faerie for getting the Ghostly Flicker with Spell Stutter Sprite, if that's going to be our strategy. So we'll go ahead and get rid of Sentinels. All right, so we'll play a Quicksand. Spire Golem still costs 3. That's kind of awkward. So we'll go to combat, attack with Pestermite. That's probably kind of a good strategy, actually. But I really like to play the Spire Golem, see? My opponent's at 8. And they have 3 cards in hand. They do have Teachings in the bin. So yeah, actually, tapping their Black Source doesn't seem that bad. Then we've got them dead in 2 turns. And they can't Teachings for a Pulse? That actually seems kind of good. We have Dispel in hand. We can also run out Pestermite Spire Golem here. But yeah, I feel like that actually kind of stems their shenanigans pretty good. Because it taps them out a green mana as well. And we got a 2-turn clock then. So let's run out Pestermite. Tap their Shimmering Grotto. I guess I can do it now, but we have Dispel. And what's this going to be? Condescend. Okay, so we can Dispel Condescend. And then we should be able to tap this. Because we don't really care about Dinrova Horror. We care about them teaching Zings for Moments pieces and stuff. Looks like they're going to go for it. Blue and 1. Ghostly Flicker. It's going to be opponent. Okay. How's it going tonight? Mol Ki Jin. How you doing? Welcome to the Jank Bank. Opponent's going to bounce the Pestermite, so we will pitch Spire Golem. Keep trying to choke them on mana, but they're pretty low on mana here. We will not untap their Shimmering Grotto for them. No Ghostly Flicker, no colored mana. And their Dinrova Horror not attacking this turn. We draw an island, so I think I'm actually going to hold on to this island. We'll go to combat, attack with Pestermite, and then we'll run it back. We'll tap the Shimmering Grotto in their upkeep. So they'll have to go Teachings with only one card in hand and no information, and this will keep them off of potentially getting out of it with Flashback, Mystical Teachings. Is there one card in hand to counterspell? Opponent. What do you mean? Yeah, Teachings for Trickery as well would be pretty bad. So I'm going to Flashback Mystical Teachings now. We'll tap down their blue source. What do you get with Mystical Teachings? Exclude. Okay, so they're going to get rid of the Pestermite for good. They're still tapped out of their colored source for this turn. And they're at 6. We're at 20. I guess I only have to attack with this 5 times to win, though. Sometimes your opponent has natural Tron. You draw a million lands, and you have a Condescend against the Tron deck. Alright, play a land, go to combat, attack with Pestermite, put them down to 4. I'm only playing a land because we have Condescend in hand. Scry 2 isn't bad here, you're right. So we will try to get our Scry 2 value here, if we can. Mnemonic Wall. All right, so we are going to try to Condescend this X 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 4, 5. So at the very least, whatever they get back, they have less of a chance to cast. And we'll try to find a way to save ourselves next turn. Spellstutter Sprite doesn't do it. We're going to have to counter one of these spells. So I'm going to actually bottom Spellstutter. What do we draw? They're going to get a flick here. They're going to get rid of our Pestermite. Yeah. They get back Ghostly Flicker. Opponent on the Tron Nut. Getting killed by Tron. 2 minutes on the clock. Yep. So I'm going to take care of our Pestermite. Another Quicksand. It's kind of okay. But I think we played this about as well as we could have, really. Oh, an opponent didn't attack with Dinrova Horror. There's the rest of their colored mana. There's Accumulated Knowledge. Well, that's a way to get moving again. Yeah, I'm gonna leave Quicksand. No, I don't have to leave Quicksand now. I'm not afraid of dying. I guess we could draw another Quicksand, but killing this might be another way to trigger it and kill them, or kill this Dinrova Horror. So play out Quicksand, and we will think twice. Hopefully finding a threat. We find a Dispel. That's a way to counter Ghostly Flicker. 05 Dream Fluff. 05 Dream is well and alive. Opponent attacks with Dinrova Horror and Mnemonic Wall. Oh, they can't attack. You guys get the idea. Now we can kill Dinrova Horror with these bad boys. Counter the Ghostly Flicker with the spell. Opponent 2 cards in hand at 5 life. Lonely Sandbar, so we'll go ahead and cycle that. What do we find? Island. Alright, pass the turn. Maybe, yeah, I'm going to play this island. Pass the turn. Opponent sacking map, going to get a land. Well, yeah, I think they can pulse it back, right? Or they can flicker Mnemonic. Oh, there's some fancy stuff they can do. They can also just wait until... Like, they can do it in attacks, and then if I get to Dispel, we might be okay. So what do they get? Bazooka Bog? Alright. So, let's try to kill Dinrova Horror with Quicksand. And we'll think twice first. So let's think twice. Draw an island, okay. And try to dispel your ghostly flicker. 3 cards in my opponent's hand. Die, Dinrova Horror, die. Oh, they had the dispel. Rip. Opponent at 1 minute. Oh my god, that dispel has just been the biggest beating this game. We draw counterspell. Pestermite, okay. So on our opponent's upkeep, we'll flash in Pestermite. I think we're going to take 4 and we'll try to counter their Ghostly Flicker if they cast it. Yeah, no might. I think you're right. Not even now? We'll wait on their next upkeep. We have enough mana to protect it with a counterspell. All right, so let's run out Pestermite. Try to tap this Dinrova Horror. See if our opponent has another counterspell. Sure. And now what? So we'll float mana. I probably should have tried to counter that, but let's make them believe we don't have a counterspell real quick. Pitch a land. They get back Ghostly Flicker. Pestermite comes down. We will tap their Black Source, I guess. For what that's worth. All right. What do we draw? Quicksand. Okay. Play Quicksand. Pass the turn. 25 seconds on our opponent's clock. We are at 8. Opponent. What have you? Go to blocks. Block with Pestermite. Quicksand, Dinrova Horror. And try to counter this Ghostly Flicker. Eight seconds on our opponent's clock. Can they win in 8 seconds? Condescend, X6, whatever. Well, I guess we might as well leave this untapped. Opponent scries, 1 colored mana left. 2 seconds on the clock, and Tron? You there, Tron? Good old match 1 win. No better way to start it out. I like this deck. All right, so we have a bunch of excludes. We have a way to hit our 3rd land drop. Got a all-format all-star Pestermite here, so I think I'm going to snap this off. What's up, QQing? Who's Amoras? Oh, God. Is this person really good at Magic? They're on to Mola 6. We got him, gang. Opponent, no Tron land, please. I do want to, like, eventually go to sleep tonight, so I would appreciate my opponent not being on Tron. Oh, yeah, way better than Gush. All right, opponent. I think they're on mono black control. This is going to be interesting. So play land and pass the turn. Thank you, Fluff. Fluff, you were here for a match win, man. That is like redemption stuff right there. We really got to hit another land drop, so think twice is good here. I think we just counter all of their creatures. What's up, Governor Opulence? Whoa, what's going on here? S shape of flowing quicksilver. You see the quicksilver in the world is surrounded perfectly, reflected on the surface of a moving mirror. You look right into the surface of your own mind reflected in front of you. Governor Opulence, what am I opulating right now? Mono black Tron control. All right, so we have the option to flash in Pestermite or counter their first 3 drop here with an exclude, which feels pretty good. So opponent just going to pass, so I think we will flash in our Pestermite. They might have like an instant speed edict. It looks like they missed their land drop. That's a bummer, opponent. Probably shouldn't have targeted my own land there, but if they have instant speed removal, I figure it's coming out now. So we will untap our land. Turn comes back. Find a counterspell to protect it anyway. Play land, go to combat, attack with Pestermite. Who was talking about that? Was it who was talking about having bounce lands in mono black control? I feel like that was like not necessarily a meme or anything, but I feel like that was talked about. So I think we will condescend X1 here. Or do we really care about this? I think we should condescend X1. Yeah. I don't really want them. This is X1 right now, right? X is currently 0. Yeah, okay. It's getting sketched out there for a minute. Was it you? Yeah. All right, opponent. Pristine Talisman. Getting countered. Got a couple scries. We're going to put lands to the... I'm going to put one on bottom, one on... Bottom, you think? I'm going to put one on top. That'll allow us to exclude and counterspell next turn. If we draw 6 land, we can... Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I'm thinking. So opponent just F6ing here. Losing that think twice value this turn. That's a little bit of a bummer. Play a land, go to combat, attack. We've got a hard counter. It might be blue-black. It could be corrupt control. We'll see how this works out. Yeah, that's true. I'm just going to draw lands for the rest of the game. But our opponent is a little screwed on lands as well, so... Let's think twice here. See if we can find something better than counterspell to deal with this. We find Lonely Sandbar, so we will counter that. No land for you, opponent. Our turn, we draw Pestermite. All right, so we'll just go ahead and cycle the Sandbar. We don't need any more lands. Found Radiant Fountain. Well, I guess we get a land anyway. You get a land. You get a land. And attack. On their upkeep, I'm going to flash in Pestermite and tap one of their lands. No, I kind of want to leave Exclude up. But greedy, risky, fun play? Yeah, greedy, risky, fun play seems fun. Tap one of your lands. Hopefully they don't have Echoing Decay. Although they could. Tap one of our opponent's lands. What have you got? Chainer's Edicts, okay. Nothing we could have fought anyway, so that's not a big deal. Kabira Crossroads. So they, yeah, so it's black-white. They've just found their white mana. So we can expect some creatures next turn. Go to combat. Good thing we play everything at instant speed anyway. But yeah, Pestilence is a pretty huge beating here. So we gotta hope that they run some creatures into our stuff. Yeah, Pestilence is coming. Ooh. That's a stuff. We'll go ahead and cycle this. And think twice. And pass. Back to ourselves. Let's play Quicksand, go to combat, attack Pestermite. And we really got to get this Sentinels of Glenelendra down. 2 times Palace Sentinels, 2 times Guardian to the Guild Pact. This can't kill it, unfortunately. Guardian. 1, 2, 3. We will exclude your Guardian. Draw another land. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play Sentinels. Pass turn. Accumulated knowledge. All right, so play a land. Go to combat. We don't have the only sorcery speed creature we have is Spire Golem, so I think we actually should have a look here now. More lands. Think twice. There's another counter spell. Okay, so let's stop there. Back to you, opponent. Pestilence, we will counter that. Definitely don't want that on board. Our turn, we get Repulse. So play a land, go to combat, attack. Oh yeah, they are not having fun today. And we'll go ahead and cycle a Think twice. Don't mind having this Repulse in hand. Also don't mind having that. Okay, so 4 spike Repulse. We'll get this Think twice back if we have to. There's Duress. What is Duress taking? Should we get back Pestermite here and tap their white source? Yeah, I think I might get Pestermite back with Repulse here. And can I recast it? Then I can recast it. I might just strand it in their hand. Yeah, they can float. You're right. Maybe we just let them... I kind of want to do it because if they have like a land pestilence or like a deadweight or a disfigure or something, I guess they can disfigure here now, but they can't deadweight, and they typically... Yeah, I'm going to try to buy back Pestermite here. I feel like they would have as well. There's an exclude. Okay. So I'm going to let this go because we want to recast Pestermite. I guess we could have thrown a Force Spike at it, but it doesn't really matter. We can Pestermite Force Spike when it does matter eventually. And I think you're right. I think they would have already deadweighted. They take exclude. Okay. And Chainer's Edict. Okay. I feel like they might have had another removal spell for Pestermite that we couldn't Force Spike. Although they might have played that already. So we'll untap. We'll tap down one of their swamps. Our turn. Counterspell, some Think Twices. So let's Think Twice. Draw a Pulse, go to combat. Yeah, Counterspell is pretty good here. So is Repulse and Counterspell. Like, I feel like we've just got 2 damage to hit them with next turn pretty much regardless. Let's see what this is. 1, 2, 3, Pristine Talisman. Ooh. That's interesting. I think we can Force Spike it, and that gives us... Oh, man. This is tough. Because then we can't Repulse Pestermite and replay it for lethal. You think we counterspell this? I think that's a reasonable play. I think it's a little wacky, but I think I'm down to counter it. It'll buy us a turn. Yeah, you're right. If nothing else happens, we still win. And it has to be 1 mana instant speed removal here, or we just win. Ooh, 2 Force Spikes. Don't mind if I do. So I think we got it here. Got him. A whole lot of thinking for nothing, eh, gang? Okay, so Pestilence. Definitely a boomerang matchup. But I don't know. I feel like because they understand what they're playing against, boomerang doesn't really matter. Like if we boomerang it on, if they play it on 4, we boomerang it, they replay it on 5, tap it for 1. I guess it could buy us a turn if they do somehow sneak it through on 4. What's good against this deck? I think the tax effects. Yeah, I guess we only have Quicksand to deal with it. Yeah, maybe I'm down to bring in a couple Curfew. We needed all the card advantage we could get that game though. And they were on a slow start. So So yeah, I think 1 Curfew can definitely come in. I think maybe taking out Into the Royal would be alright. The spell starters probably aren't actually that great here. Condescend is good. Well, I know, eh? I know, Fluff. I think I will. I'll take out 1 Into the Royal for a Curfew. I could be convinced to put in Boomerang. Or no, Into the Royal kind of does does what I want it to do. Maybe Repulse? No, this deck actually performed really well in... I think I'm going to take Repulse out. Just one. Pestermite's probably not that great against Pestilence. No, it actually just went top 4 in the GP Richmond Pauper Championship. So that's why we're taking this bad boy out. All right, gang, we didn't submit with greater than 60 cards, so we're in money, really. All right, we got a bunch of cantrips, got enough lands to cast our Pestermite. Got there last time, guys. Pestermite going to be a tempo Stone Rain for a minute, probably. But it is what it is. Kibera Crossroads for our opponent. We'll lead on blue mana just in case we draw counter magic. Pass turn. Opponent going pretty quick. They don't want to be doing this anymore. Radiant Fountain. We'll have 6. Draw Pestermite. Okay. I think we just told our opponent we don't have Force Spike in hand, but it is what it is. Commit a bunch of blue mana to the board. Ooh, opponent missing land drops again. Their mana trouble is not ideal. I hope they're all right. So, okay, so I think we will just play another blue source here, and we're going to Pestermite their lands for a little while. Just to keep that tempo advantage going. What if they're trying to trick me? They're like, commit a bunch of Pestermites to the board. Pestermite is looking crazy good here. It's like, did your opponent stumble on mana? Get them good. Oh, yeah. Go to combat, attack with Pestermite. And I think we'll just run that back next turn. Granted, opponent is at a huge life total right now. So keep playing lands, pass the turn. It's pretty fun right now. We've been doing okay with it. I hope we keep running into good matchups. Or not necessarily good. I think we've gotten a little bit lucky. We've had one slow opponent, and our opponent on the other side of the table this time is having considerable trouble with their mana. Curfew. Okay, cool. So I think we'll run out the Radiant Fountain now. If there's any way we might want to sandbag lands. They're 100% not having any fun. Yeah, we won a game. So do we curfew and... I think we might curfew and just like lock down this Kibera Crossroads again. Yeah. I think so. They're at 18. I think the tempo advantage is just too worth it. So we'll curfew. Get back Pestermite. Yeah, opponent not super happy. We only have 15 minutes, so we gotta play we gotta play fast. Okay. Flash Pestermite in. And we really gotta hope there's no Echoing Decay. Like, Swamp Echoing Decay is a pretty big issue. We will tap. Pass the turn. And so now next turn, if they miss land again, we can repulse into Pestermite, which is kind of sweet. But I don't think it's as important now. Play land, go to combat, attack for 4. Keeping them off mana might actually be kind of an okay strategy, especially where we're kind of progressing our hand and our board at the same time. So I think I might actually do this. Call me crazy. Repulse Pestermite, draw a card. Pestermite your Kibera Crossroads. And pass. Getting through our library as well. Alright, so let's accumulate a knowledge and draw 2. There's a counterspell, so we will cycle this as well. There's an exclude. Play land, go to combat, attack the Pestermites. Counterspell will get any non-creature spell they play, and then if they do tap out to play a creature, then we'll just exclude it. Sometimes. So I'm thinking about doing like a submission thing for the series for sure. Something like a Patreon is something that I've had in mind pretty regularly. So I think if I do end up doing that, that's probably what I'll do. And I'm hoping to get a Patreon set up next month, kind of like a 1-year anniversary type thing. All right, we'll just pass. We have a bunch of counter magic, so I don't think we want to get greedy and start digging for a Spire Golem right now. Opponent's just going to pass. We will think twice, find a Condescend. I don't think they can have 2 instant speed removal spells, and they're playing like they don't even have 1. Trying to think twice. Okay, we won't play that. We do want to leave up Counterspell. Play Quicksand, go to combat, attack for 4, and we got him next turn. We have roughly infinite counterspells in our hand. So I think we got him. Going to Disfigure. Yeah. Put them to 2. Yeah, we pretty much got her locked up here now, but I kind of want to, I'd like to be certain. Yeah, we got him. Sweet. I got to mulligan this, which is like sad, but I have to. Oh, this hand is so good with another island. Oh. What do you guys think? Risk it for the biscuit? How much is this biscuit worth? This hand is so good with an island. And we have a Force Spike, and we're on the draw. It's so good with an island. We have 22 lands. How many turns can we go on 1 mana? Do you guys think we're keeping it? You guys want to keep it? Keep it for the biscuit? Risking it? All right, guys, let's go. Burn. Oh, this hand's good against burn too. Oh, come on. Okay. Doug Funny is definitely not. There's not going to be any funny business with Doug Funny here. Memes are for winners. I'm doing too well to not to not keep a sort of borderline hand here. How hard can I believe? Come on, play Thermo Alchemist. Oh, frig. Opponent. Soul Read on the Force Spike. Come on, deck. Come on, bud. Opponent. Play into the Force Spike, dude. Why not? Land. Oh, God, guys. We've made mistakes today. We've made mistakes. Deck is not doing it today. We had a few looks, too. Got him. We just time walked our opponent. Land. Oh. Never didn't have it. How many times do we never have it, gang? Not even one time. Deck just such a tease. Lava Spike. Do we spell stutter the Lava Spike or do we wait for them to play a creature? I think we spell stutter the Lava Spike. Spell stutter Lava Spike. If they have Searing Blaze here, it's kind of a blowout, but you got to do what you got to do. Spellstutter's only hitting so many spells. Thank you very, very much for the follow, Colonel Crab Cake. You a trusty, crusty crab employee? Colonel Crab Cake? Let's go. Always shave it. No, hashtag always have it. I have been always shaving it recently, so I thought maybe that was like a topical commentary or something. Well, welcome regardless, Colonel Crab Cake. How do you feel about the Faerie tribe? How do you feel about us never not having it? Ooh, is that our opponent's only play? Money. Okay. Play a land. Go to combat. Attack for 1. Oh, nice. Yeah, I love this deck. It's been pretty good to me so far. Oh yeah, we're in Gas City now, gang. Gas City indeed. 100 counter spells. Opponent flooding out. Let's be burned. We have so many. Do I tap out for Pestermite here? I think I tap out for Pestermite here. If you got 4 burn spells that do 16 damage, you got us. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone, that I let you down. We'll represent a Dispel here for what it's worth. I don't think it means anything to tap our opponent's lands. They can just, if they have instant speed stuff, they'll just cast it now. It doesn't pay them off to wait till our turn. And now we have this unstoppable force of counterspells in our hand our opponent just can't do anything about. Yeah, they need lots of needle drops. Like, lots. Especially at instant speed. Alright, opponent. They're flooding out. I kind of feel bad for them now. We had like an epic story building with the keeping the one lander that was pretty friggin' good and all that, and now our opponent's kind of getting into an epic flood situation. 1 land, 4W. What's it gonna be, opponent? What's it gonna be? Give me something I can exclude. Give me something to exclude. I don't think there's any reason not to counter this, except that we might miss a Thermal Alchemist on an exclude, but whenever you can fade 3 damage from the burn deck, you know you better be fading 3 damage from the burn deck. Got him. So this exclude's gonna kind of be a little dead here, but let's get some bounce spells for this this spell stutter, huh, gang? Let's play Quicksand and AK. Land? Well, I never. Alright, opponent, you better be able to kill us with those 3 spells, because we're going to draw more counter magic soon. And when we do... counter my own accumulated knowledge, assert dominance. I agree. I agree with that line of play. Oh, I'll play another creature. No balls, opponent. Where's your gumption? Show me your gumption. We do have to send a message somehow. I think we're sending the message that we are currently digging for counter magic. Opponent fire blasting their life away. We draw another AK. Oh, we keep drawing quicksands. Let's accumulate some knowledge. Fair bit of knowledge this time. Deck, you're my best friend. You're my best friend, Deck. Good old 2 islands off the top. There are ways that we could lose this game. That was one of them. Like, the rest of our deck is gas. More or less. Got him. What do you mean? Alright, guys. Drew 1,000 lands against Burn. They got 1 card in hand. We're at 9. We're going to leave a Quicksand untapped from now on. Force Spike. Never didn't have the land. Oh, yeah. We certainly will. We'll make all of our land drops now. Now that it doesn't really matter anymore. Oh, our opponent tries to, like, needle drop us. Needle drop themselves. We get to Force Spike them. We get coverage for the runner. What's this going to be? I'm going to Force Spike it pretty much no matter what it is. So, Fire Blast. Okay. Well, Force Spike really doesn't matter now, I guess. Alright, I guess we go to 5. Opponent, 1 land. Scatter a bit of mana floating. Oh, no. This is how it ends. This is actually how it ends. Opponent gonna pay for the needle drop. We're at 4. 1 red mana floating for our opponent. 1 land on the battlefield. We have a 3-turn clock. Oh, thank God. Okay. I guess we might as well play an island, right? We might hit some like running cantrips. Go to combat, attack. But unfortunately, we're going to have to... Yeah, so if they run out pretty much any spell in their deck except Fire Blast. So if they're on like land Fire Blast here, we're dead. But if they're not, we should be able to win. Rift Bolts, okay. Yep, so I think we got him. Spell Stutter. Oof. We got him. Well, that was quite harrowing, huh, gang? Let's bring in some Hydroblasts. This is probably okay against Curse. And this is probably okay against Curse. I don't think our repulses are super important here. They might get to counter a red spell or two. What do we take out, guys? We just have a bunch of really good counter magic. Do we like take out creatures? Do we take out all of the repulses? They pick up spell stutter sprites, which I think is just crazy. Like, why do we have so many sideboard cards? Into the Royal and Boomerang might not be relevant because we have all these Hydroblasts. But what 3 cards do we take out for all these Hydroblasts? Maybe like 1 Force Spike? I guess Force Spike gets a little worse now that they know to play around it. But it's really not that bad. I guess 1 Exclude. Really? I don't know, man. I don't like Dispels against Burn. They've got like Fire Blast, Needle Drop, Lightning Bolt, Searing Blaze. That's a good few spells, honestly. So what do we do? Do we take out like hard counters? Force Spikes? Yeah. I think Repulse is a little bit worse. Yeah, I'm down to take out an Exclude for sure. And yeah, and Repulse doesn't... This Condescend doesn't say a lot to me either. So that gets us down to 3 Dispels. I'm okay with like shaving a Repulse or 2 because they have to pick up Spell Stutter sprites to do what we want them to do in this matchup. So that's 2 Dispels. And take out 1 Force Spike for a Dispel. We're just like stacked though. Like we have so much hate now. So much hate. I don't know if we need that many Sentinels, but... Or we might not even need the Spiral Golem. Counter every card in their deck. I think these, like, let's see how this next game goes. I think these cards, Condescend maybe not so much. I might want 1 Condescend over a Force Spike, but I don't know that it really matters that much to bring in Condescend over the 3rd Force Spike. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Okay, let's go. Okay, all right. Sweet. Hell yeah. Yeah, snap it off. Blue, counter, all the things. Opponents on the play. Like, Burn on the play, keeping 7 is definitely an issue. Force Spike. It's an island. Sorry about that snap. That probably didn't come off too hot on the mic there. Never didn't have the land, gang. Oh, it was such a triumphant finish there. With the, ooh. Opponent seems like they're stuck on 1 land. I'm almost... I guess it's not even their turn yet. I'm like tempted to counter the Rift Bolt. But Burn without many lands in hand means that if we counter their creature, we're in good shape. So I'm going to let this Rift Bolt go. Against my own better judgment. But I'm going to let this Rift Bolt go. Because Spell Stutter Sprite can't counter it. Got him. We got him. There we go. Stop a Needle Drop in its tracks. Pass turn. No days for us. Opponent. Missing land drops. Go playing Radiant Fountain. Gain some life. For the Rubbins. I guess we're putting ourselves out of playing double counterspell. But whatever. Attack with Spell Stutter Sprite. That probably should have been Quicksand, honestly. Like, okay, shit. They have 6 cards in hand, but they only have 1 land on the battlefield. So, we'll see what happens. Counterspell's got to eat their creatures. Maybe not, probably not Lava Runner, because we can just play this next turn. Nothing for our opponent. Okay, so I really don't want to play another colorless land here. Alright, that's sweet. Play an island, go to combat, attack with Spell Stutter. And if they abstain from doing anything... What's up, Edge? Marked Edge? Oh, I see. Like with like a cool sword? Like you got some paintings on your sword type of marked edge? Yeah, I think we might be okay, guys. I don't know. There's a lot of cards in hand for our burn opponent. Doing a pretty good job playing around Force Spike. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's the Faerie squad. Curse of the Pierce Tard. That's kind of an issue. We have Hydroblast to deal with it. How big of an issue, though? Yeah, actually, no. We can't do that. We might stand a chance at countering one of their creatures next turn with this, and we can counter an instant speed spell with this Dispel if we want to. I was thinking about letting that resolve and getting the Sentinels down. Ooh, Force Spike. Don't mind if I do. Alright, well, against my better judgment, I think we're going to let them get in 2 damage with the Lava Runner. Yeah. So hopefully they don't play anything super relevant. I'll let Lava Runner go. I really would like to get the Sentinels down. I wish this counter spells like Spell Stutter Sprite. Why can't you be like your brother? Therma Alchemist. Okay, we do have to counter Therma Alchemist. This stuff will eat other things. Opponent, gonna pass. Gallantly playing around Force Spike. Sure, Riftbolt goes on suspend. And I think it's time for Quicksand to come down here. Go to combat, attack with Faerie. And now we might be able to commit this Sentinels. We can't counter everything, though. Opponent still has 4 cards in hand. We have to kill them eventually. There's just 3 very well-placed counterspells, I think. Yep, Riftbolt comes down. So I think Force Spikes could have come out for like a Condescend or something, like maybe one more. I think we just very often we have more mana than they do. Yeah, there's Alchemist. I was definitely worried about that. Sure. So let's play our Sentinels. Gotta find a Hydroblast pretty quick. Like some of our Xerox stuff would be sweet. Deck, like, bud. Why you gotta be so rude? So I think Force Spikes can come out for Condescends. If we go to another game, they have 4 cards in hand. And my deck's feeding me tons of lands here. We can get their Fire Blast. We might be able to get something with a Force Spike, but I think we're going to have to get lucky for that. Yep. But it's likely they just kill us here. Yep. Yep. It's a lot of Lava Spikes. Sure. We go down to 7. 3 cards in our opponent's hand. Needle Drop. Alright, so I'm going to Force Spike Needle Drop. Well, we've got the chance. Leave Dispel back for Fire Blast. Oh, yeah. They're Burninating. Burninating indeed. So it's not going to take them much. We're going to have to draw Hydroblast followed by a million counterspells to win here. Yep. So play land, go to combat, and attack. You are the Pauper Burn player. They are living that best Pauper Burn life right now. And our clock's not very intimidating. I think, yeah, letting the curse go wasn't the best play, but I think it was kind of our only option there. We've just kind of flooded out sort of epically here. So let's find out what this is. Pretty much any instant spell is going to eat this first Dispel. Our opponent just going to do nothing. Okay. That's weird. Up deck. Like, could you please be a friend? Please. You're shipping me all these useless lands. Alright, we can easily cast all of the spells in our hand without trying too hard. At least we're making land drops. Yep. Opponent is a burn deck with 4 cards in hand, and they haven't made a land drop in a minute, so I can't imagine we're in very good shape here. Thank you. Thank you for the land. 3 cards in hand that they really just have to cast to kill us. So we'll get the bolt. Go to 3. I think we're pretty close to dead here. Some number of crazy, like... Yeah, so all they have to have is 1 more burn spell in hand and we die. Which, like, I... Oh, they don't! Oh my god, Hydroblast, please. Hydroblast 1 time. Oh... Please, deck. Listen, man. Listen. Why does it hurt so bad? I don't know if I want to tap this quicksand or not. Because they might have a lava runner. And I think we need Hydroblast to get out of this anyway. So I'm going to leave Quicksand up. Hydroblast. Yeah, alright guys. We're probably dead. I already made my land drop, my dude. Alright, attack. But we're at a virtual 1 and our opponent has a card in hand. So... Can't repulse Alchemist, unfortunately. Pass the turn. Go to 2. You got us. Opponent draws. Go to 1. Land and... Oh, oh my god. Daggers. Okay. Yep, you got us. Okay, so let's go down another Force Spike for another Condescend. We had to try pretty hard to make that good. But I think that's it. I think we just have to not draw 1,000 lands and get them. Okay, we have a Hydroblast in hand. We've got something to kill a Lava Runner. We got a Spell Stutter Sprite. We got a Pestermite. We got a Counterspell. This hand looks so good, so we'll keep. Oh, this hand looks so good. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, the last time it felt pretty good, too. And our opponent got a little screwed on mana there. And we still kind of fell behind really quick. All right, play an island. Pass turn. Opponent's keeping their 7, but they thought about it. So that might be good news. We really got to get those accelerators. We Gucci, let's go. We really have to get those accelerators and those, just, you know, that kind of thing. Rift Bolt, so we have to let a Rift Bolt in. At least 1 Rift Bolt will be let in. Another Hydroblast. I think we play Quicksand here and kind of lean on Hydroblast a little bit more than I'd like to. Because they're playing around Force Spike, so they could play Lava Runner next turn. They could play like Burn Spell to hit their graveyard and then Lava Runner. What's this? Therma Alchemist. Okay. It's got to counter the Alchemist. Watch the Fire Blast come out. Think twice. Okay, so we'll play a land. We can go Pestermite Hydroblast here, but I don't know if that's ideal. I'll only Hydroblast if it's going to eat a it's going to eat a pretty good card. But that was pretty key right there. This is tense, guys. This is tense. I tell ya. I'm not feeling super comfy right now. Opponent. What is this? Molten Rain. Do I care about that? Not really. So Pestermite. We'll untap a blue source here. I don't really know if I do. It doesn't even deal that much damage. And we have counter magic for their stuff. So go to combat, attack with Pestermite. And play Lonely Sandbar. Pass a turn. I feel like we'll stabilize pretty good if they can't kill us in the next 2 turns. Opponent plays a land. Potential of 4 burn spells in hand. Cycles Forgotten Cave. Okay. So opponent flooding out a little bit this game. Paying us back. There's Curse. Alright, so let's grab that Curse with this. Maybe not with Spell Stutter Sprite. I guess we have this Hydroblast if the worst happens, and they have to point like a Lightning Bolt at it or something. They can't Searing Blaze it, so we will Sprite the Curse. This will still counter a 1-mana burn spell, kind of whichever way you turn it. Lightning Bolt Pestermite, sure. Curse comes down, so it's just going to deal 1 damage here. And we can... I guess it kind of frigs with our clock a little bit. Yep. We're at 14. Our opponent is on their way to top decking their way out of this game. We're going to blow this up now because our opponent might have Pyroblasts. Even though sometimes I feel like Thermal Alchemist can just do a lot more damage. I wouldn't mind having that, I wouldn't mind having that Quicksand right now, though, I'll tell you that. Especially now that we're kind of a lot more dead to Runner. So our opponent can't kill us with instant speed spells, as far as I can tell. So I'm going to think twice here. If it's time for them to start... Alright, time for them to start Fire Blasting, then so be it. Opponent stops on our upkeep. We're at 7, or they're at 17. We draw another Hydroblast. That is pretty good. Combat, attack with Sprite. I think they might be trying to build this kind of like windmill turn on us here. Saving up instant speed spells to kind of go all in. I think I'm going to repulse Spell Stutter here. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it's just so much counter magic. And there's a Pestermite. Sweet. They shouldn't be able to beat it. We're not hitting lands, though, so that's really unfortunate. And our opponent's hitting too many lands. Opponent's going to pass. Okay, so we will run out Pestermite, untap a blue source, if it gets through. If they want to point removal at it, then they point removal at it. Go to combat, still not drawing lands. But we do have a lot of counter magic, so I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable with that anyway. And so long as they aren't pressuring our mana during their turn, we can start casting these cantrips. We'll start with Accumulated Knowledge for sure. Lava Runner. Okay. So let's Sprite the Lava Runner. Still have Hydroblast backup here, and they can't stop this trigger. They'll have to go both. I don't really want Hydroblast to catch any Electrickery here. But they knew he had the Spell Stutter, so that was kind of weird. Alright, what's this? Rift Bolt's Hardcast. 3 cards in hand. This is not a trivial decision. I don't know if I should Hydroblast this or not. I don't think so. I think I have better targets for Hydroblast than this. What do you guys think? You guys think we have better targets? It's tough. I need you guys on this one. I don't think it's obvious. 3 cards in our opponent's hand. We have 2 hard counters. You think I should Hydroblast this? You like waiting? Okay. I'm okay waiting too. I'm a little nervous as to what they're doing over there. I feel like a non-zero number of Fire Blasts is trouble. Draw more counter spells, but no lands. Yeah, we just stopped their second blast. Yeah. All right, we'll pass. Not hitting land drops is killing me here. Like, one more land drop would be so good. But being able to counter, like, if they kind of go all in a turn, Blast Bolt kills us, so we can't. I think I'm gonna accumulate knowledge here. If this can get a fire, oh, okay, cool. It resolved, and they didn't respond. Land, beauty. Okay, I think we should be okay. I think we should be okay. This Condescend's not really doing anything right now. Maybe it'll come through in the clutch at some point. Slow and steady. That's right, Diz a Storm. Opponents had 8. They've only got so many turns to go. 5 cards in hand, though. Like, what? I don't know what they might be sandbagging. Yeah, so we really just have to start drawing lands. I'm not even going to start cantripping until we need to. Nice. Okay. Combat. So now we have 2 counters and a Hydroblast up. They'd have to have an awful lot of instant speed burn to kill us. This Condescend probably won't end up doing anything. To go end of turn, you untap, burn you. Chain Lightning the Pestermite. Sure. That's going to buy them a little bit more time than I'd like to admit. Yeah. That's definitely giving them a little bit more time than I like. We can still counter 3 burn spells, which means they should be able to get a like 6 damage, 8 at most, in at us. But like I said, it's allowing them a little bit too much time. Okay, we can counter 2 of their burn spells. I'm gonna have a think twice here, especially where they only have 4 cards in hand. Dispel is a pretty dang good draw. Another island is also a welcome draw. Okay, we got to protect this spell stutter now. There's just like way too much riding on this one spell stutter. Yeah, mono counter hand. We have a counter spell for every card in their hand now, and we can cast most of it all at the same time. So we're pretty safe think twicing for another threat here as well. Yeah. Playing that is way too greedy. Quicksand, sweet. So that'll stop their potential what's-his-name plan. And now we can play Glen Elendra while having backup. I think we should actually just flashback think twice. Playing Sentinels is pretty greedy. Granted, if they go for it here, they have 6 cards in hand. And we're not going to go for it because we can protect this spell stutter sprite that's going to kill them to the ends of the earth. So we're going to go to combat and we're going to attack with it. Our opponent's down to 1. They're not going to play a creature that we care about, so I'm going to pitch this Exclude. Sprite is going all the way. Thermal Alchemist, doesn't matter. Land 5 cards in my opponent's hand. Oh my god, my palms are so sweaty. That goes to us. Sure. We'll go down to what? 8? Sure. Lightning Bolt, Spell Stutter. Okay, so we will dispel that. Oh, guys, this is tense. Yeah. Turn off auto yields all the time. Opponent scoops the match. Got there. Woo. All right, we're positive, gang. Let's go. 5-1, 5-0 dream all the way. We're on the play. We're 3-0. Laughing all the way to the bank. This hand's awesome. I think I love this deck. It's my favorite deck I've ever seen. We'll keep this. This is an awesome hand. Yeah, exactly. And that's cool. I'm with that. I am like, I love my country, man. Like, I am, if there's one thing, so when every streamer starts up, or like, I got some advice that when you start up your stream, you should like try to figure out exactly what your identity is and like lean right into that. Like, the best way to avoid copying someone else or like, you know, being just like a worse version of another streamer is to like pick your own identity. So like, I knew I was going to do Pauper and stuff like that, but I was like, I don't really have any other defining traits except the fact that I'm like pretty patriotic. I was like, okay, sure, I'll just talk about how I love Canada. Oh, it's the control matchup. This is going to be interesting. Put my little maple leaf up there. Well, we don't have to counter anything anytime soon. We're going to hit our land drops. We should hold on to this Lonely Sandbar to find something that matters eventually. They could play an Augur of Bolas next turn, but I imagine they're going to play a tap land instead. Guess it's just 4 matches tonight. Yeah. Because that's all you got. Vinestorm memes for days. I think we can take off the upkeep stop until we find some Pestermites. What do you have, opponent? Just counter magic. All right, so I guess we're going to wait till the late game and get in counter fights with them. That's what our opponent wants to do. Play a land, pass turn. Because they're just going to kill our Spell Stutter sprites. So we have to counter their removal magic on our Pestermites with Spell Stutter sprites like, I don't know, 8 turns from now. Play creature. Got him. Boom. You guys know the dynamite? Because that was it right there. It just went. Just then. Whose pick? Play Radiant Fountain. Pass the turn. Oh, I wish I could into the Royal this right now. Maybe this is the Boomerang matchup. So maybe I should be a little bit more aggressive. I'm getting cocky. I'm like, yeah, I can outvalue the control deck, right? Yeah, let's be patient. Let's be patient. Okay, there's a Pestermite. So there's something to fight for. So we're going to play this now. We'll pass the turn. I'm certainly not above trying to sneak Pestermite down while my opponent's tapped out. Now, I will counter a Muldrifter. Opponent not going to tap out. All right, so this will be the turn we play a Pestermite. Trying to make them discard a hand size? I could do that. Oh, yeah, I know, right? That's when we get on the tempo plan. All right, let's get in a fight over a Pestermite. How's that sound? Their hand is like 4 edicts. Rush is a natural treasure. Is this soul manipulation? We have to counter soul manipulation. That's pretty good for them here. All right, so hopefully this counterspell... I almost counter my own Pestermite. How bad would that be? Like, how much of a punt? Oh, they had more counter magic than us. Sometimes you fight over a Pestermite and you get burned. Opponent depriving us the opportunity to pester some mites. That was avoidable? Really? Could have just waited, I guess. How? I was probably, I probably rushed a little bit. Yeah. I haven't hit my land drop this turn, so I'll think twice. Repulse. And I don't think we're spell stuttering anything relevant, so yeah, so we can think twice again. Sentinels, okay. Yeah, and I probably should have saved the counterspell for Muldrifter or Gurmdaddy. I think if they play Untapped Island, Gurmag Angler here, it's not a huge blowout because we can repulse it, but I don't know. Augur, yep. Yep. Gonna go dig in. But yeah, I think I get what Proteus was saying. We could have just think twice a bunch of times until they felt like they had to do something with this soul manipulation. Alchemy hits the revealed zone. And is it our turn? Opponent gonna have a little think. Don't blame them. Land drop. Cool. So play land, and I think we just pass here. I don't see any reason to force any action on our turn. They have 3 untapped mana. This could be time to like resolve the Sentinels, but that only leaves us with Spellstutter Sprite with backup. We can do some fancy stuff with like Spellstutter Sprite, Repulse, etc. Alchemies. Okay, so maybe it is time to Sentinels. We can counter the first edict. Oh, maybe we can't. This is a little tough to navigate. I think I'm gonna let that go. Because we're gonna want to try to, like, if they get this and then they slam an angler and try to defend it, then we can do some of these shenanigans to try to like put them on the back foot for a second. Mill all lands, okay. But keeping Gurmags off the table is probably. I wanted to do that, but I don't really know that we can with 2 Spellstutter Sprites, you know? Like, you can counter a Chainer's Edict, or they untap with 5 mana. You're just kind of in a lot of trouble, right? 4 Spike here would be a beating. I am absolutely, like, if they run out of Muldrifter, I am definitely going to dig for a 4 Spike with all my little heart. Tap land. Yep. And passing. Okay. So we'll accumulate a knowledge. Draw land. All right. Draw another land. Seems good. Our upkeep stop. What are you thinking, opponent? And the reason I wasn't flashbacking Think Twices is because I don't know if I was going to do anything on my main phase this turn. If we didn't draw land, then that could have been kind of tumultuous. So now it's time to think about forcing through even a Think Twice, maybe. That'd have to be pretty impressive. This kind of acts in a really interesting way. Like, once you have a ton of mana out, you like flash in a Sentinels while your Spellstutter Sprite triggers on the stack. Like, that's kind of cool. Pretty big fan of that. Opponent making their land drops. Just a good old wholesome control mirror, you know? And this deck doesn't actually run too many hard counters. You'd think they do, but it's more removal than hard counters. Going to Preordain, that doesn't really matter. They're digging for an Angler, which we currently have a couple of pseudo answers to in hand that might buy us enough time to find a way to counter it. Or win a counter war against it. And I think these are best served. Do we run out Sentinels here? I think maybe we try to get them to fight over this accumulated knowledge first. Lol. Okay. 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 All right. We've seen sufficient lands, so we might as well, like, what could they do? Alchemy? All right. Done a lot of drawing of cards. Turn comes back to us. Play a Quicksand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's play Sentinels. I'd rather play it here instead of discarding a hand size, especially where we don't have any. We don't have anything to do about it later, and we could get some like weird fighting going now that we have 4 Spike, double Spellstutter in hand as well. All right, opponent. What are you sending our way? Nothing. Let's spell stutter. They didn't know about the other spell stutters, so we got that going for us. Goes to counter Doomblade. Now another instant speed removal spell plus counter magic backup is kind of an issue. But, I mean, they'd have to have a pretty good hand. We have a pretty good hand too, so we'll see if they go for it. The Dewdrop is? So like some kind of like devotion deck you're thinking? I'm gonna try to Agony Warp that spell stutter. All right, no Echoing Decay. Try to counter Agony Warp. And they didn't have counter magic backup, so even if they have another removal spell here, we get to counter both of these removal spells. And now we have like a decent clock on board. Oh, oh my god. That was so ridiculous. Echoing Decay there was insanity. Oh, that hurt. Oh, ouch, my soul. And they get the first Muldrifter of the match. Oh, no worry, Huang. Still got plenty of matches to go. I feel like we're in match 4 here now. We're on a 3-0. So that means we actually should have 6 wins on the board. Oh no, actually we timed out Tron. So yeah, so we're out here, man. We just got completely wrecked. Like, our opponent's hand was perfect. They had 3 instant speed removal spells to just blow us the heck out. I guess it was a 3-for-3 in the end, but it was a 3-for-3 into a Muldrifter. So that's not ideal. All right, we'll play a land. Say go. And repulsing Muldrifters doesn't seem like a great plan. Casting Repulse 100 times on a spell stutter sprite might be okay. Opponent Alchemies. Let's Force Spike that. The longer it takes them to find their angler, the better. Even if this does end up that they... I don't even know what I'm thinking. Even if they do flash this back, it's still better than letting them get it on the front side as well. Forbidden Alchemy is just some good, clean value. Our opponents dealt with our threats pretty good. We've seen a Pestermite, 2 Spell Stutters, and a Sentinels. So that means we're down to 6 threats. Opponent's going to probe with Kicker. Okay, let's think twice in response. All right, so I'm going to let this go. And we'll discard Into the Royal, Repulse, or land Into the Royal. Yeah. And I guess we try to get down a Spell Stutter to start attacking, but we're in kind of bad shape against Muldrifter deck here. They might think we have a ninja on the way, so they might do something about this. These kind of have to hit anglers, which is unfortunate. So maybe I shouldn't have done that, but it is what it is. Draw land. Perfect. All right, so go to combat. Attack with Sprite. Pester. We have to get some kind of clock going, and a chump block on Muldrifter might do it. I think we'll remove the angler with our Quicksands next turn. These combined with Spellstutter actually can kill Gurmangler. So we'll let Augur get in one more time and see what our opponent wants to do. Gurm Daddy. Okay. So we'll try to repulse Gurmangler. hoping to find a hard counter to take care of him on the way back down. Maybe they have... Okay, Condescend, that's pretty okay. Exclude, pretty good. Okay, so we have a number of ways to deal with Grim Angler next turn, but we are at 13. So I think maybe we even chump Muldrifter next turn. That seems weird. I probably should have attacked. We might chump Muldrifter next turn. Don't take my word for it. No, I think I eventually have to double block it. So that I probably missed a point of damage there. We'll take 3. I'm not saying that it will happen, just that ideally that's how it would happen. Gurm Daddy. Okay, so let's fight over it. If they do win the counter war, then we have Repulse to at least bounce it back to their hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. So let's Condescend your counterspell because we want to draw a card off of our Exclude. Oh, come on. Opponent got the next counterspell. Okay, sure. Yep. Nothing but black mana aside. Okay. So let's go ahead and see if we can't find some way to deal with this now. We might as well Repulse before our opponent can do anything about it. Just an island. You're the best, deck. So we're going to go to combat and attack with Spellstutter Sprite. We'll try to flash in Sentinels to block Muldrifter, but we're running out of answers for... I guess getting Hellbent to kind of fight the probe is probably okay. Okay. Opponent goes to attacks. I'm assuming they have instant speed removal here. Sentinels or more counter magic. Sentinels resolves. Go to blocks. Block Muldrifter. What could they possibly... They have 6 cards in hand. Yeah, okay. Sure. We go to 9. Gurm Daddy comes down. 4 cards in our opponent's hand. This is pretty nuts. Like, I don't know if our little kind of like twiddly creature-based strategy is enough for this. Or is enough to win this matchup, but we're going to try. Gosh darn it. The 5-0 dream is alive, gang. But we don't even... I don't even think there's any... Yeah. But I think we're pretty much just dead here. Yep. Opponent cycles a Lonely Sandbar. They just have so many answers. Like, yeah. I guess if they didn't... I think Muldrifter is the most important card in this matchup. So we take 5 down to 4. We're dead to Muldrifters next turn. So I'm going to block here. This way, if Counterspell resolves, we might stand a chance for the double timeout evening. Oh, baby. You know how I like to do it. Opponent knows we're on Condescend. So we're going to do a little playing around that. We should probably sandbag some non-zero number of lands as well. The last Counterspell coming through right when it matters. Condescend means GG. But we'll make them play it out. Here they come. The drifters and Gurmag anglers. We are now freaking dead. All right. So. Faerie Macabre, I feel like, isn't enough graveyard hate. When did they give me the rude GG? I don't think that's rude. I think any amount of, like, you know, just being nice to your opponent is good. I think this is definitely the boomerang matchup. We don't want to repulse augurs or anything like that. So we'll take a repulse out into the royal. What could this get that I care about? Nothing. So let's bring something in over another into the royal. Maybe Dispel. Force Spike's probably not super relevant because we're going to be countering stuff in the later game. So I bring in a Curfew. No, I think Into the Royal is better than another Curfew. Dispels do sound good. So we'll take out one of the Into the Royals. They are good answers to Gurmag Anglers, you know? Oh yeah, that's true, I guess. I think they knew they had it. All right, so we'll bring in some repulses. I think we might want to go down a Force Spike or two. Thank you very much for the follow, Captain R3D Beard. Thank you very much. Good red 3D beard. That's pretty cool. Can you do like 3D animation in there? Or yeah, saying it during my turn. Maybe opponent's a ghost. Maybe they know. Yeah, Dispels do sound good. I think Dispels are probably even better than Force Spikes. Exclude is all right. I like the bounce effects for Gurmag Angler because that's where they're going to try to win the game. Condescend might not even be as good. Like, Force Spike might be better enough in the early game that we might want Force Spike over Condescend. But the Scry is pretty huge. Yeah, and Curfew, yeah, if we give them the Punisher mechanic on this one, then it's pretty bad. I don't know what we would exile out of the graveyard. Chainer's Edict? Alchemy? Keep him off Angler for a turn? But I think I'm okay with this. I think Condescend is more likely to matter when it does. All right, we'll play first. We had an awesome hand to start the last one. This isn't a great hand, but it's like faster. Pestromite's a good clock. These get what we care about in Muldrifters eventually, and we get a way to draw for our next land. I actually think I'm going to keep this. This deals with the first Angler. Because we're on the play, this might deal with a... Wow, that really should have been Island. Because we're on the play, this might eat their first Augur, which is pretty big game. Thanks, dude. If possible, do nothing for as long as possible. You got it. You got it. Let the do-nothings begin. Yeah, I think maybe it's like the first one that blinks. Land is very welcome here. Actually, yeah, like we should really take advantage of being able to play instant speed. Like let them go doing whatever weird stuff they want to do first. We've got our cantrips. We got ways to find our land drops. We're a control deck, dang it. I guess they do. Their card filtering is pretty strong. So like if they start being able to resolve that, we might be in a little bit of trouble. Might be almost time to Pestermite. What do you guys think? Almost Pestermite time or no? Should keep waiting on Pestermite. Is it Pestermite time? Pestermite, untap island, leave up counter magic to protect Pestermite. Get a spell stutter down. I think so too. It's a clock. We gotta have one of those. Somehow. I'm a little worried about spell stutter because they can just like disfigure it in response. They get my whole board. So like, do you think we should spell stutter their first removal spell on Pestermite? Or should we let it go? Opponent having a good hard think here. No, I don't think spell stutter does anything now. If they tap out to do something about Pestermite, spell stutter it. Yeah, okay. I'm hip with that. So they didn't take the Soulman. That's interesting. Yeah. A couple of real pretty islands hitting the bin. Sure. Might have been able to mana screw them, getting in the way of that, but I don't know. Part of me is okay just not being greedy here. Third land. Yikes. All right, opponent doing nothing. Seems about right. Seems about on theme. So what do you think? So don't counter this? You think they can... I mean, at worst, it's a 2 for 2, right? Just let Pestermite go? I kind of want to counter it. I feel like I got to make them have it. Especially where we let that Ponder go. Yeah. Oh, it's their main phase. I think maybe they're trying to get a Gurmag Angler out. Actually. Trading for Counterspell is definitely worth it. But I think they let this go and then they resolve Gurmag Angler, but we just bounce it and counter it later. No, you're right. You're right. And it's not soul manipulation, so we don't have to worry about that. Yep. Yep. Okay. I think it was close. It wasn't angler time, so we didn't get punished too bad. Our opponent definitely did a bit more looking through their deck than we did. It's helping them hit those land drops. We got our counter magic for Muldrifter, so they'll have to wait until they can fight it through. More spell stutters, no land drops. Not what I wanted to see. Pass turn. Teachings or whatever is fine. I think the goal is to like have them top decking somehow, which is seems like a little bit of a lofty goal. Land drop right on time. Pass the turn. But like these two cards being the ones in our graveyard does not make me overly happy. Spire Golem. Spire Golem's a good creature. Res Mazelga, I know. Riveting, huh? I don't think we want to try to Spire Golem here. I think we're just going to pitch a Repulse. Though it may be time. We can't really win a counterfight here anyway, so it might be time to just Spire Golem. I'm assuming they're going to answer it on the stack, but they might just Chainer's Edict, and I won't counter Chainer's Edict. Deprive, okay. I will not be countering your Deprive because I want to counter your Gurmag Angler or your Muldrifter next turn. Not to say that you don't just have another counterspell in hand, because they are getting to that point. Yeah. Well, I didn't want to discard a hand size, and like I was saying, we can't win a counterfight over a Muldrifter next turn anyway, so if they have it, they have it. Which does kind of make me want to run out Spell Stutter here, because if we can keep a Spell Stutter on board, then we stand a chance at winning a counterfight next turn. Even though we can't defend it. I imagine it's going to eat a Disfigure here. Yeah, sure. All right, so now we stand a little bit more of a chance at excluding plus counterspelling. Yeah, I hear you there. When they were tapped out. This has been completely not easy at all to navigate. Let me tell you. I think so too. I think my hand looks pretty good. But that's the thing, like Muldrifter is what matters. Like we don't even really care about Augur of Bolas. It's not good, but it's not a huge deal. And yeah. Winning a fight over a Muldrifter is priority number 1 right now. Angler is like whatever. I might throw a counterspell at an Angler, but now that we have 2 Quicksands, maybe not. Maybe not. All kinds of lands for all our 4-drops. They're not playing any of the like Think Twice stuff. I think they're going on the strictly Alchemy plan. Yeah, that's okay. I think we know what our prerogative here is. So letting them get one thing, not a big deal. We're going to have a couple chances, couple swings at getting the Drifter away. And they'll have 3 mana left. So it's going to be interesting. I think this is going to be their turn. So we'll find out what they want to do. Black, yep. 1 mana Gurmag Angler. Tapping some stuff. Delving away. Yep. So we'll let Gurmag Angler go for now. We're going to try to repulse it. They wanted to play around Force Spike. Yeah. And so it's even if Repulse gets countered here. Hey, welcome to the Jank Bank, Missilehead. Glad to have you. Ooh, we found an Accumulated Knowledge, which is kind of nice. And a Sentinels. Okay. Moving through our deck here now, gang. Another island is perfect. So that's 2 counterspells and Exclude. But Spellstutter can fight, like... Spellstutter 2 Quicksand can still beat Angler. So I'm not super afraid of Angler. Granted, they have 7 cards in hand now. Sure. It's really, like, it's Muldrifter I'm worried about. And that's where we're going to fight. Serrated Arrows. That's a problem. Okay. That's all of our threats, except for Sentinels. So I'll run out of Sentinels. Soul Manipulation would be a bit of a blowout here. Pass the turn. I think twice is pretty good. So we'll just pass. Sentinels and Quicksand helping us trade with Gurm Daddy. And I don't really know what I'd like to use to protect it. I don't know how many resources I'll commit to that, especially if they're going to try to... Here comes Gurm Daddy. Let's go to blocks. Get in the way. I feel a Disfigure coming on. Sack. And sack. So we have to Spellstutter or Disfigure. We're still in an okay position to fight a Muldrifter, but not a great one. All right, away goes Gurm number 2. And is it time? Stormbound Geist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they can't fight through... Like, they can't play Muldrifter and then fight another counter. If they counter this, so... Probe. Kicked. Yeah, that doesn't really matter. I guess we'll pitch Think Twice and Spellstutter. Opponent's going to play tap land. Because Spellstutter isn't fighting any counters now. And it just gives them a target for their Soul Manipulation. We'll draw. We're on the mill plan now, gang. I like having a Repulse in hand, so we'll play a land, pass the turn, because we stoned her in ourselves a fair amount there. So this lets us hold up Repulse, Exclude, and Dispel for those anglers. Drift time. Let's Exclude. It's the moment I've been waiting for. They're going to counterspell. We will dispel your counterspell. They have to have 2 more counters in hand if this is going to resolve. We got it. Sweet. All right, what do we draw? Lonely Sandbar, don't want that. Get it out of here. Spellstutter's not too bad. I think I'm going to hold on to this land for now because we don't really need to use it. This is like, this has been pretty intense, guys. And we might want to pitch this to a probe. Although I'm not a huge fan of that. A duress kind of sucks, but I can spellstutter a duress, so that's nice. Gurm Daddy, yep. Drifter. That's trouble. Try to counter Drifter. They have it. Frig. All right, that's tough. So let's see if we can find our other Dispel. We might find it. Oh, baby. Dispel, Counterspell. Maybe they also have Dispel? I don't know. We do not want Mull Drifters resolving this game. Two cards in our opponent's hand. One of them is Gurm Daddy. And here he comes. Imagine reaping the graves there. That would be crazy. All right, another counterspell. Not bad. They don't have to hit us with this Gurmag Angler too many times to make it good, though. Yep. So we have to draw some more of our bounce magic, of which I think we sideboarded out a little bit. Might have seen the majority of that. Sure. It is in a good mood. Somewhat. I feel like this is a hard matchup. Like a particularly hard matchup to win. Let's Spell Stutter. Soul Manipulation. Definitely want to counter that. So we're going to lose our counterspell anyway. This way we get our opponent empty-handed, so what we're looking at is what the board is. So now we just have to find a way out of this somehow. Accumulated Knowledge is a good start. Think twice. All right, let's keep Xeroxing. Those Sentinels, man, they'd come through, I tell you. Okay. Repulse is pretty good, so we'll just pass here. We're going to have to take the damage off of Gurm Daddy for a minute. And repulsing it again while having counter backup is probably our way out here. So, yeah, hope for some counter backup, guys. Cycle Lonely Sandbar. I guess that's why you make all of your land drops, too. Play a land. I'm going to bounce. Oh, I don't know if I want to bounce Angler on their upkeep or not. I think I'm going to bounce Angler on their end step. Or even, oh, this is tough. This is really tough. When do we bounce Angler? Or do we bounce Angler? Do we bounce Spellstutter? Blocking Angler. Like, having them just redeploy it is obviously not great. That's pretty risky. So I think their end step is the best time for us to do it. So I think we have to go down to 5. But if we deal with this Angler, we might have a chance. So I should be attacking with Spellstutter there. Put them down by 1. All right. Let's repulse the Angler. 2 cards in our opponent's hand. Boomerang. Okay. And a spell. All right. So attacking their mana base isn't going to do anything, really. We do have to keep this Angler off of the board until we can find a way to deal with it. Oh, yeah, true. So we're going to go down to 4. We can trade with this Augur if we can somehow find a way to counter this frickin' Gurmag Angler. A Mull Drifter is like backbreaking here, though. Bunch of delving. Gurmdaddy, yep. Boomerang your Gurmag Angler. Come on, counter magic. Okay. So I think it's time for us to kill this Augur too. I think that's getting a little bit too out of hand. So we're going to do that. Because finding second quicksand is slowly becoming not a way to win this game. Go to blocks. Block like this. Sack quicksand. Try to get angler off the board. Oh, I don't know if I should repulse it here. We have to repulse the angler, so I can't repulse it. And to force a repulse through, we need the dispel. But if we don't have this Faerie, and this could be the play that like wins or loses me the game. This is super relevant. Okay, I'm doing it. I think leaving this Augur on board is definitely a way to lose this game. So yeah, exactly. Seagate Oracle, gonna do some digging. It's additional trouble for our 4. Our life total being at 4. They have 18 cards in library. Opponent giving us a little sad face. And what's this? Gurmag. I can imagine they've got the counterspell here, so we're probably kind of in trouble. Yep, there's Gurmdaddy. Get him. Have you eaten through all their... Yeah, maybe I have. We're drawing lands. That's not good. I have to find a way to answer this friggin' angler, like right heckin' now. Oh my god, they're gonna counter it! Oh! That could have been it, guys. That could have been it. They might have us here. Oh, yikes. I think AK might have got us there. This game has been crazy, though. Opponent doing some self-milling. Looking for edicts or something. Augurs, okay. Yeah. They got an alchemy. Yeah, all of our binned stuff is gone. All of our bin think twices. I think we have one left. Accumulated knowledge. We have 1, 2. Oh god, every time I see it on the stack, it's like horrifying. We have 3 accumulated knowledge in the bin. Going to 3 here. There isn't a lot of ways we can win from this state. Pestermite. All right. This is going to be it, guys. This is going to be do or die time. Flash in Pestermite. Tap the angler. Go to 1. Opponent, sign and bloods us. We die. Do you think we should trade here? Kind of like this. We have 1 quicksand left in our deck, but it's not really worth banking on it. Yeah. All right. I'm with it, guys. I'm with it. I'm with the plan. Disfigure. Savagery. All right. It doesn't really matter. I think they've almost 100% got us here. They finally find that Muldrifter. Finally won the Muldrifter fight. Fighting the good drift fight. Yeah, they just ground us into the dirt, guys. That's it. Woof, blue-black. Match 5, last one of the night. Beautiful hand. Nice little curve here. I'm going to keep. I really like this deck. This deck is sweet. It is definitely up my alley. Think Twice does not target. Okay, alright. So we couldn't have gone on the mill plan. Comparative analysis does, though. Raptor 50. That's your wheelhouse, man. Y'all ready for another nail biter, gang? Here we go. Here we go, guys. One more burn match for the night. Let's force spike a Thermal Alchemist, huh? Opponent on the 1-land Forgotten Cave plan. Seems good. We should play that. Oh my god. Man, that deck was sweet too. I really like those decks, like the Grixis Flicker deck, or Noir Flicker, and the Please No 1-drops. Like, you guys, it's just obvious how long you've been playing Pauper, how much you like the format, because the deck has so much play. It's like, here are all these crazy synergies. And, ooh, get a Force Spike that. Heck yeah. Yeah, Force Spike that. Last burn match was really interesting. So confident it's not Boros. I definitely am now, but I wasn't. All right, sweet. Gonna end a turn plays. Feeling pretty good, guys. Feeling pretty okay. But we all saw just how close the burn matchup is. We also know that aggressively pester miting is 100% the plan. So just let them get their instant speed stuff down when you have to. Ugh. All right, well, this kind of hurts, but get them. This exclude might not find another target. And I don't think they can Thermal Alchemist this turn. That wasn't even the good version of Lava Runner, but... oh, dang, another Lava Runner. All right, Radiant Fountain. Pass the turn. We can trade a Pestermite with that. It's not a big deal. Actually, we can, like, run in Pestermite, tap a land. I think that's what we'll do. So run out Pestermite. No, maybe I think we'll have to untap mana, because they could hit land, go Thermal Alchemist. So I kind of don't like that. So I think we're gonna run out Pestermite, untap a land, block, get to Lava Runner. Sure. All right. So now it's time to do that. So Pestermite. Yeah, I'm okay holding on to the counter spells for the next creature. One counter spell for the next creature? That doesn't actually seem that good. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we hold on to the counter spells for our opponent's next creature, or should we counter this Lava Spike? I'm at 16. I'm okay cantripping at end of turn here. Could have tapped get to. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long we can do that, and looks like they're not on the attacking plan. All right. Repulse, not bad. Yeah, I think we're gonna go at a standstill with this Lava Runner, especially where we can, like, bounce it back to their hand at the end of their turn if we find a Spell Starter Sprite. And we want to have enough mana up to deal with Thermal Alchemist pretty much straight away. I'm probably going to run a counterspell out at the next. Like, if they go 1-1 here, then they'll probably eat a counterspell with the next one. No attacks from our opponent. Okay, so think twice. And think twice. Accumulated knowledge, pretty sweet. Gonna refill. There's Quicksand. Okay, sweet. So play Quicksand. Already made our land drop. The rest of our deck's at instant speed. We'll go to attacks with Pestermite. We can kill the Get to Lava Runner now, so that's pretty sweet. And then we have Counterspell Cantrip up for next turn. I like it. This person did not like playing against Burn, apparently. Or was Burn, like, really dominant in early Pauper? Was that a thing? Could that be a reason why? I think I will let this Riftbolt go. I'm feeling pretty good. This accumulated knowledge in hand makes me think that I'll be able to draw answers for whatever else they're going to be doing. for the next few turns. Needle Drop. That's a pretty good spell. This is going to be our only counterspell this turn. I think they're digging for land, though. Okay, so we are going to counter this. Especially if they're digging for land. I really wouldn't like them to stick a Thermal Alchemist here, but at least we can repulse it. Just like a small... We won't repulse it now. We'll quicksand this and then... Alright, there goes Riftbolt. Okay. Hopefully they attack with this. We've got a great blocker for it. So burn might have been pretty good. Oh, hell yeah. That's right, Maverick Girl. Can't stop, won't stop with the Faerie train. Accumulated knowledge, draw some more cards. Pretty great flash blocker. Couple of repulses aside. So play an island, go to combat, attack for 2. Although I don't like being this dead on board to or not dead on board, but like, and I'm still here. Yeah, man. It's a little bit of a late one tonight. I'll be honest. So let that go. It's their accelerants that we really care about. Like once our mana base develops, we should be able to 2-for-1 them out of the game. But we do have to we have to try a little bit harder, I guess. So Thermal Alchemist into Lava Runner here is kind of an issue. Because we'll have to counter Thermal Alchemist. And I guess we can repulse Lava Runner. It's not a big deal. Opponent's going to pass. Seems like they've played the control matchup before. Play Sentinels, and we're going to go looking for some more interaction with this Lonely Sandbar. Our sideboard is pretty good against burn, too. I'm happy to have the sideboard that I do. 4 Hydroblasts and a bunch of Dispels. Feels great. Nice, another Quicksand. So play a Quicksand, go to combat, and attack. Be pretty nice to tap down a mountain on their upkeep, but we don't have that privilege right now. It's not very hard for burn to kill you from 10 with 3 cards in hand. But you can't exactly just wait for all of the fire blasts to just go through. They got us. Spell Stutter. Very happy to have a Spell Stutter. Very, very happy to have 2 Spell Stutters. Play land, go to combat, attack. We should be good here. What movie did you go see, by the way? I really want to go see that 8th grade one. The Bo Burnham movie. Did you ever hear about that one? But it's not released in Canada. Us crazy old Canada heads are in trouble. All right, opponent, what do you have? This is only going to be for... Oh, man, that sounds really familiar. Maybe I'm thinking about like some 90s movie, though. Something blue. Got our opponent on a 2-turn clock. We have effectively 3 counterspells in hand. I can repulse that on end step. I'm not really that worried about it. And I'd like to use these repulses for something. Repulse Thermal Alchemist. 8th grade is in Canada? Oh, maybe it's just not New Brunswick then. It's probably just not New Brunswick. So excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Canada. My bad. All right, go to combat. We should have him here. Infinite Spell Stutter is pretty decent against burn, apparently. And now we can use our repulse to return a Spell Stutter so that we're Ontario privilege. Upper Canada, huh? Oh, it is. Oh, it is. Okay, that's the right one. So let that go. That doesn't matter. And opponent not going to do anything, which means we win. Basically. I don't know how we don't win here. And got him. We will spell stutter that. Yeah, man. It's a cool movie. I think I watched it when I was younger. Guess what, opponent? I have a bunch more spell stutters. Roughly infinite spell stutters where that came from. Yeah, it was like, you would see it on like people's walls. Like the poster was kind of prolific. Is that the word? The poster was omnipresent in like young people's bedrooms in high school. Hold on, I'm trying to focus. And we got him. Cool. All right, so we know that the spells come in. We know most of the force spikes weren't that great, especially because they play around them after they see one. We brought in hydroblasts, and I think we went down one repulse. Oh, I know it was hard. I know it wasn't an easy sideboarding. We go down one repulse. Maybe we now Into the Royal's good for. Oh, I don't know. Don't call it a comeback. Where's Jimmy Colorado? Jimmy Colorado's always so good at being tempered at calling it a comeback. Well, it doesn't have to be a comeback at this point, but it's but it's close. It is close. It is very, very close. All right, what were the other three cuts? I think one exclude came out. Maybe even two. I think it was just one. I think one exclude came out. Repulse isn't as good as just like, yeah. So I think I went down to two repulses and maybe. What else did I take out? Did I take out the last force spike and leave in the condescends? I think one force spike, one condescend. I'm happy with that. All right, let's do it this way. I hope so. It'd be really nice. They got us on the play last time, so I think just that one extra turn. Oh god, this hand's so good. I love this deck. This deck is the meta, dude. It's like, this is the meta deck. We found it. The meta deck. Lava Runner, sure. Come on, Quicksand. Plain Island, Sago. How many hits do you take from the Lava Runner? Probably more than are advisable. If you're me. I kind of think we let that go. We're not hydroblasting anything else this turn, but we might have to like kill this. Okay, this might be a little bit loose, but we have counters for their creature if they want to play it next turn, which I imagine they will. So we'll let that go. We'll wait till they go to attacks and then we'll hydroblast this. Lava Runner down. Good suggestions only. What's up, Emo Robot Gaming? How are you doing tonight? Yeah, man, it has been sweet indeed. Sweet is the word. Also, Greece is the word. I'm pretty sure Greece took dominion over the word in the 70s sometimes. So if anything is the word, it's at least Greece, because I think they have a patent on it being the word. I think. You guys know what I mean? Oh yeah, I like putting a stop to that Lava Runner nonsense. Opponent gonna sneak out their bolt while they dang well can. Oh man, that did super well there. Risky, but I'm taking it. That did super well in, what was it? No, not the challenge. In that Italian tournament. Was it Italian? Am I screwing this up? Guys? Yeah, nailed it. Sweet. I saw that. It was kind of a toss-up, but I've never played a deck with 4 excludes main board before, so I figured it was just time. You know, it's time to be the exclude deck. And you know what? It's felt pretty dang good. A list that aims to just jam a bunch of fireballs. Oh, yeah. So, okay, guys. So what was it about the M Lovebow list that made their list so much better? You know what I mean? Like, because M Lovebow put up results with a mono blue list like 100 times, right? Didn't he? Maybe not 100 times. Excuse my hyperbole. All right, so we'll leave up Counterspell plus Spell Stutter mana here, but I don't know that we'll need it. And we can always draw Think Twice plus Dispel the instant, the 1 mana instant they try to cast. Something like Needle Drop. Lava Runner. Lava Runner doesn't really matter But I'm okay starting my clock going a little bit faster here, so I actually think I will spell stutter it. I'm not 100% on that play, but especially where you can quicksand it. We can't quicksand some of their other accelerators, but we have more answers in hand. All right, play a land. We have a lot more answers in hand. There's the answer.deck over here. Oh yeah, man. I love that deck. Killing elves from excuse me, Maverick Girl, but killing elves from 100, that's just good clean eating right there. Just doing 100 damage in a game of Magic is like one of the most gratifying things I think I've ever done in my whole life, probably. We're at 14 life here. That's a significantly low life total. Really wish I would have quicksanded that runner now. But I don't know that they'll get to resolve at least 4 of the spells in their hand. Oh, baby. Tell me more, tell me more. Get your bolt countered. But we're just going to preserve our life total, counter their accelerators when they hit their land drop. And now we got to kill them 5 turns. We got 3 counter spells to get there. But yeah, I loved that deck, man. It was like probably very close to the top for decks that I've played that I enjoyed. No Searing Blaze, opponent. Not today. Let's try a million more answers. It's not it. Come on, deck. This happened last time we played Burn 2. We were doing really good in the early game, and then we just drew like 1,000 lands. I really should have played an island there. The tilt not playing islands happening here. I will not be countering any more lava runners. Woof. Wow, yeah, no, I wasn't a fan at all, Emo Robot, but like that's just how I play, right? Like I'm not, what do I mean? That doesn't mean anything. That's just how I play. It was I think maybe part of it was that it was too difficult for me to pilot, and also I was like subject to variance in a deck that isn't subject to a lot of variance. Like we have 8 copies of each Tron land, and I very seldomly assembled Tron, so I really didn't get that like powerful Tron them out kind of vibe until almost the very end, which is kind of unfortunate. But it's not to say that it's not a great deck. Obviously, it's a really good deck. I think you have to try pretty hard to play it. I'm learning. I'm learning as time goes on. Imagine double electricity. Here it comes. I'm gonna blaze. That's fine. I only have 2 answers now. I'm a little bit worried about accelerators and fire blasts. That did turn it from a 2-turn into a 3-turn clock, but I probably should have countered that. Deck, you're being such a great person with all these lands, giving my opponent a pretty great chance to win here. So I actually probably should have countered that Searing Blaze. I don't know. Hopefully I can catch a Fire Blast with one of these, so I feel a little bit gratified here. You can kill my creatures all day, though, opponent. I'm not really worried about that. Sweet, deck. You're the best. 100. 100 the best, deck. So long as I have 1 Spell Stutter Sprite left, I will not counter removal magic. I will counter the next Searing Blaze. Oh, no, yeah. Retrogryph is sick. So that was one of the things that like really got me into Pauper was a Retrogryph deck, but I was playing it when Bloodbriar got spoiled, and I was like, man, I have got to play this Bloodbriar like Retrogryph deck. And it was a lot of fun. I think it was after Alex posted something about Emerge being really good with green creatures. I think they were talking about It of the Horde Swarm and Fierce Empath, stuff like that. But yeah, Retrogryph, amazing card. I think I was playing it with Angelic Renewal too, like a Bouse. Do they have 2 Fire Blasts? That's the question, guys. Answer to a Fire Blast off the top. 3 mana. What's it gonna be? You know what? The first Fire Blast doesn't really matter. Sure. You're playing Blitz back then. Oh my goodness. So you've been like forged in the variance fire. You're probably like the most stone-skinned like Magic player. All right, opponent has 3 red mana floating, and we got him. We got the 4-1, guys. We got it. So apologies, Maverick Girl. I told you to not call it a comeback, but we did it. We went 4-1. That feels absolutely fantastic. Woo!